myself, man. Yeah, though we be working out though. We be out there hitting it. Dumbbells. Them dumbbells, man. Um, shoot, my weight bench. Shoot, I ain't been hitting that in a minute. Been mostly doing dumbbells and start trying to get these arms, nice. I ain't trying to really do 21 inch. Trying to get somewhere about, I'll be good at 15, 16, sweet 16, I might push 17. That's about it. Ain't trying to get 21, though. Not yet. Not yet, but, shoot. Man. Let's talk comedy. Gonna talk comedy tonight. Gonna talk comedy. Because I do a lot of talking about comedy. I don't record it, though. Most of them, ran to myself, talking about something in the game, a lot of people debate comedy, their preferences, what they like, who they like. You see who behind me got Mars Mabley, Richard Pryor, Red Fox. At the top, George Carlin. I'm going to get into some more up there, You see George Carlin at the top. Let me go just a little bit. Bam. Got to have Carlin up there. You got to have Carlin up there, man. Oh, yeah. Carlin. Oh, yeah. Got to have old George Carlin up there. Old George. Yes, sir. I think I got about 2 vinyls of George, I think. I know I got about 2 of Lenny Bruce. Those brothers was kicking it, man. Oh, yeah. I love Red Fox, man. I do. I love Red Fox. Love Mars Mabley. Love Pryor. Love George. I feel that in comedy, I talk about it often. I feel that in the industry of comedy, in my personal opinion, there's a lot more room for creativity to be producing that. I was looking at this, we know if you study history of comedy, going back to the 70s, when Pryor was kicking, really coming up with it. That nigga's crazy. The Craps dropped before that. Both of them was classic, still to this day. To this day. And somebody, even back then, guys were stealing jokes, people still forget it. But in the industry, if nobody's being as creative as they should be, the industry takes a hit behind that. That's just come with the territory in the industry, right? It takes a hit. You have to be appreciative when someone comes along that's really creative that can elevate the field to another level. You have to be appreciative of that. It helps everybody involved if that's the case. It does. And I feel it's time for comedy to go to that route, on that level. Now, if you study comedy, historically speaking, it had a great boost of creativity that came about in the 70s. Oh, yeah. A lot of originality was kicking in the 70s. Lots of it. Richard George at the time. A lot of comedians coming through there. You know, Bruce had passed some years before. Yeah, I think he passed in the late 60s. He did. He didn't make it into the 70s. He already had dropped a few things. Can't forget about Paul either. That Paul Mooney, man. You know, I was talking to this guy, man. It was in the debating at work, talking about it. We in the aisle talking about who they think the funniest. I told this dude, man, I think Paul Mooney was one of the, if not the greatest comedic writer. You know, and he looked at me and said, "Who is Paul Mooney?" And at that moment, the debate was over. Because everybody you're debating about being the funniest know who that is. Paul Mooney, baby. If you're a real true student of comedy, you know who that is. Facts. You gotta know. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot about the culture that really kicked off with Paul, Richard, together, writers together for shows and how they innovated what you know today as, yeah, Living Color, all of them. Yeah, it's real talk there. But anyway, that was a great boom. 80s. Yeah. Murphy came in the early 80s, you know, throughout the 80s. But standard-wise, in the 90s hit, bam. And that's when I started. I was a child, you know, I was watching Comedy View. And that's how I was learning. I didn't know, I heard of Def Jam, everybody in the hood did. You know, everybody knew about Def Jam in the hood, but nobody was letting you lend their CD. They were not lending their DVDs of Def Jam out back then. You had to come over their house and watch it. And you had to be real close friends with somebody who would let you hold their Def Jam DVDs or VHSs to be exact. But later on, you know, the DVDs kicked in. But yeah, you had to go over their house. And if they let you lend it, they came over the next day and they asked you about them. That's a fact. I remember that. And I was watching Comedy View mostly. Yeah. Because HBO had Def Jam on. You know, you had to pay back in the 90s, man. You had to pay for HBO. So my parents, Mom, she wasn't trying to pay for no HBO. And every now and then HBO come on and they'll let you get that little free sample. You can watch it for about a good 2 weeks and then it go back to what they call it when the it gets cloudy again, the channel. HBO come on. It's cloudy again, right? And that, and that's what it was, man. And you can hear it, but you can't see anything. That's how I was listening to all the specials, like all the big names who had HBO specials in the 90s, and yeah, especially in the late 90s. I could listen to them like, you know, hear what they said, I couldn't see them, and that's what I would do, you know. Yeah, those memories like that. But yeah, man, the 90s was a good one too, though. We got to talk about the 90s. You know, and one thing, the important thing about comedy and craft art in general, it's great when you got people who can contribute or seeking something in it to elevate it to another level, to a new level. You know, it's always good for that. It's always great for that. You know, always seek to elevate it. You know, you can't say that having Michael Jackson drop Thriller. You know what I'm saying? See the cultural impact in Thriller. And then Prince turning around dropping Purple Rain. Didn't have a cultural impact on the music. Right? Same thing. You know, same thing. You got to seek the purity of the art. You know, that's what I would say for it to elevate to the next level. You know, and enjoy from that. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on comedy. That's some of my take. I need to record myself when I'm in one of my good rant moves about it, because I got a lot to say on it. But that's some of what I feel that's. So I ain't saying it's absent. I'm just saying more of it. It need to. I feel like the comedy in itself, the industry, the field in itself should expand more than what it is. I don't. I think there's a few factors that stops that from happening, but comedy in itself should expand more. If you comedy's been around for a long time, it's been around for a while. So I'll say that there's some things that should take place. You gotta be a visionary for that, though. You gotta be a visionary for that, and then you got to have people who are in positions to maybe contribute to that. It would be nice. But I think what happened in a lot of cases is the what should have happened in the '80s, as far as some of the greats, they should have laid a foundation down for the next generation, um, and that didn't happen. Unfortunately, it's still time, and you can do it right now. But that's the mentality isn't there, and that's the result of that.